All right, think about this for a second. You've got this mountain of raw, kind of messy data, and you need to turn it into one single clear insight that could totally change your business. Well, that's the big promise of Azure Fabric, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it all works from the inside out.
So here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start in the control room, get our bearings. Then we'll dive into where all the data lives, the lakehouse. After that, we're going to follow one piece of data on its entire journey, step by step, from raw to ready. We'll even see how to put the whole thing on autopilot. And finally, we'll get to the big idea behind it all, what makes Fabric such a potential game changer.
Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, in Fabric kicks off in what's called the Workspace. The best way to think about it, it's your project's command center. It's where all the tools, all the resources you're ever going to need, they're all right there.
So what is a workspace, really? Well, here's an analogy for you. If your whole data project was a movie, the workspace, that's the studio. It's got the sets, the cameras, the editing suite, literally everything you need all in one spot to make it happen.
And this is where the real magic happens. See, your data doesn't just sit here collecting dust, it flows. It moves super smoothly from storage in a lakehouse, gets work done in tools like notebooks, and then, bam! It's right there in your Power BI reports or even powering your most advanced AI models. It's a completely integrated ecosystem. And what does that mean for you? Well, it means you can finally say goodbye to the headache of trying to stitch together a dozen different tools.
Okay, so we've got the workspace down. Now let's zoom in on probably its most important part, the lakehouse. This is the core of it all. It's where your data actually lives, and it's really the heart of all data engineering inside Fabric.
You know, a lakehouse isn't just some big, dumb bucket you throw data into. No way. It's a super smart storage system built on what's called the Delta format. Think of it like a spreadsheet on steroids. It can handle huge amounts of data, and it keeps track of every single change, ever. And the cool thing is, it perfectly sets you up for what's called the medallion architecture. Now, that's just a fancy name for a really powerful way to organize your data into different quality levels. You know, from raw bronze to cleaned up silver, and finally to that business-ready gold.
All right, enough theory. It's time to see Fabric in action. We're going to follow one single piece of data on its incredible journey, all the way from a simple CSV file to a powerful, business-changing insight. Let's do it.
So, this journey has 4 basic steps. First, we just get the data in, raw and untouched. Next, we put it through a serious cleaning process. After that, we'll shape it into a lean, mean, business-ready summary. And for the grand finale, we'll put it up on the screen and let it tell its story with some awesome visuals.
So step 1 is ingestion. Simple as that. We're taking a raw CSV file, let's say it's full of sales data, and we just drop it right into the bronze zone of our lakehouse. No frills, no fuss. It's just the raw material ready for what comes next.
Okay, now we get to the fun part. This is where we start turning that raw data into something really valuable. We use a tool called a Spark Notebook to kind of chisel away the imperfections, polish the rough edges, add some finishing touches. And what we get is a clean, refined data set that's ready for the spotlight in our silver layer.
Now, I know what you're thinking when you see code on the screen, but don't worry, this is actually super simple. All it's doing is telling the system 3 things. First, hey, go read that raw sales data from the bronze table. Second, get rid of any rows that are missing info and stamp it with a current time. And third, save this brand new, clean version into the silver area. That's it. It's a really simple but powerful process you can run over and over. Here's another way to think about it. A great chef doesn't just hand you a pile of chopped up vegetables, right? They combine them into an amazing meal. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're taking all our clean, detailed data and turning it into a summary that answers a real business question. This is our gold layer. This is the 5-star dish that's ready for the boardroom.
And you can do this with a super simple SQL query. All this is saying is, take the clean sales data, group it all up by product category, add up the total revenue for each one, and then create a brand new table with that summary. It's an incredibly powerful way to take a huge mountain of transactions and boil it down to a simple, actionable insight.
And now, for the grand finale. We connect Power BI directly to our gold data using this awesome feature called Direct Lake Mode. And this is the real payoff. Think of it as a live, direct pipeline from your data straight to your dashboard. There's no copying data, no importing, no waiting. It means your reports are always showing the very latest information, up to the second. It's pretty much the fastest, most efficient way to get insights to the people who need them.
Okay, so that whole four-step journey, that's great for one file. But what happens when you need to do this for, I don't know, 1,000,000 files every single day? Well, that's where automation comes in.
You can think of Fabric Pipelines as like the ultimate project manager for your data. You can schedule that whole four-step process we just walked through to run automatically, maybe every hour. Or you could have it trigger the moment a new file lands. It makes sure everything happens in the exact right order, and it turns what was a manual process into a rock-solid automated workflow.
And honestly, the platform doesn't stop there, not even close. You can use this exact same environment to handle real-time streaming data. Think fraud detection or IoT logs. Or you can take that clean silver data we made and use it to build, train, and deploy machine learning models. It's a truly unified platform that can handle pretty much all of your data needs, from the really simple stuff to the super complex.
All right, so we've seen how all the individual pieces of Fabric work together. Now let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. How do you make this all work in a big, complex organization? And what's the ultimate goal of a platform like this anyway?
So, to really get the most out of Fabric, there are a few best practices you'll want to follow. For example, separating workspaces by department. That's kind of like giving each team their own secure office. It's just crucial for security. And using that Delta format for all your tables, well, that's like making sure everyone in the company is speaking the same language. It's absolutely essential for your BI and machine learning teams to work together without any friction.
So what's the big idea behind all of this? What's the point? It's actually pretty simple. It's about ending the chaos of juggling a dozen different tools just to manage your data. The goal of Fabric is to be the one and only platform you need, a true single source of truth that can take you end to end, all the way from raw data ingestion to advanced AI.
So with platforms like this becoming so powerful and so much more accessible, it leaves us with a really interesting question. The question isn't, can we make sense of our data anymore? It's, what will we do with the incredible power that comes with that understanding? Because the future of data, it's already here. The only question left is, are you ready for it?